So, my name is Crystal Tanha, and I'm going to be interviewing you today about your sexual history. We've met, darling.
Oh, we're on camera now?
Mm-hmm. Would you like to introduce yourself to the camera?
No. I'm shy.
Should I introduce you?
Yes. That'd be a professional thing to do.
This is my friend Nick,
loud enough?
and Nick has been kind enough to allow me to interview him about his sexual history, his current sexual relationships, and how he feels that those have affected him in his development. Are you ready? Alright. So I need to take a few notes, although we are recording, so I don't have to write everything down. And you're alright with recording?
Yes.
This will be, yes, this will be kept completely confidential other than the people who you are aware of. You will see the video. So your name is Nick? I could have given you a fake name. Should we give you a fake name?
Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken?
Plissken.
How do you spell that?
P-L-I-S-K-E-N, I think.
K-K-E-N.
K-K-I-N?
Okay, let's go with my original.
Snake
Yes, it's my last name.
Plissken.
I'll spell it all I want.
What's your date of birth,
Corrected.
Mr. Plissken?
Corrected.
Done.
It's my last name.
What's your date of birth?
1/22/85.
22?
Sorry to be a hard ass,
Okay.
but you know, I'm serious about my name.
And your gender?
Male.
Alright, I'm going to start out with the questions that my instructor gave me already to ask you. And we'll kind of go from there with some questions that I have come up with as well. If you get cold and want me to move the heater, let me know.
I'm allergic.
No.
Sorry. But yes, proceed.
So I'm interested in knowing about how you remember your first consensual sexual encounter.
Yeah. This was fun.
With as much detail as you are comfortable sharing.
One night I was with two of my friends, well, one of my friends and then his friend, and we were in a, what was the car? It was like a Cougar, a Mercury Cougar, I want to say. It was like a big-ass white two-door with a huge backseat and shit. We were partying, we went bowling, and did some drinking, and I ended up in the back of homeboy's car with some girl.
Who was the girl?
Some girl from high school.
Do you
We weren't
remember
dating or
her?
anything. Yeah, I remember.
But she
I
was
remember her
just,
first name.
but she was just some girl.
Mm. Yeah, we didn't really stay close afterwards. But we had a lot of fun in the back of a Mercury once.
So what's your definition of fun in this regard?
It was the first time I ever put, you know,
Your what?
my old parts and some lady parts.
That was your very first time of your penis being in a woman's vagina?
It's pretty awesome.
Was that your first sexual encounter, or did you have any sort of sexual interactions with another person other than yourself before that?
Yeah, like kissing girls, like, I don't know, that kind of stuff. But that was the first time I ever actually penetrated a girl. I
Like
guess is what
manual
I did
masturbation, oral sex?
before. I'm sure I masturbated before that.
No, mutual masturbation. I'm sure you probably did as well. Most people have at that point in time. So you were, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
Like 14, I would say.
Do you think that you were too old? Do you think you were at an appropriate age? Were you too old? Were you too young? What do you think about the age and the maturity level that you were at when you lost your virginity?
That's hard to say. Like, that's different for everyone. Like, ideally, I mean, that goes. I probably wasn't living a lot of right ways for a 14-year-old, so par for the course. So yeah, I was probably fucking too young, but it was still fun.
So is there a difference between what's fun? No, is there a difference between what's fun? Like what? I would assume that a definition of fun would be feels good and pleasurable and enjoyable, right?
It was just like riding my skateboard or smoking weed and hanging out with my friends. There were things that I enjoyed doing.
And one of those things became having sex.
Indeed.
So
day.
when you first had
And manual masturbation.
manual masturbation, when you first had that first sexual encounter, did that like open the floodgates for you, or did it take you a little while to kind of
No, not
decide
really.
you were going to be having sex with people and you enjoyed it and you wanted to pursue it? Like more so than just, of course I want to have sex with 17.
Well, speaking about myself as like a 16 or 17-year-old fucking male, yeah, it's pretty much like take it where it comes. You know? Like when you're in high school, you gotta like sweet talk girls. It takes time to, you know, get to know them and shit. You don't just like have sex once. I mean, it's probably different, I guess, for different people, but for me, it wasn't like I had sex once and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I'm going to orgies and shit. It was just like, but still, like, you know, once you have something good, you probably pursue it a little more.
So,
Change your way of living.
you talked about sweet talking girls. So what do you think that did? Like what purpose did that serve, or how was it successful? Why
Well,
was it successful?
I'm a pretty sweet talking motherfucker if you don't know that about me. But no, I mean fucking being nice.
So in high school, because we're talking about when you were a teenager, right?
We're videotaping this out.
We're talking about being a teenager, right? No, this is great. It's great because it's all really interesting stuff. So as a teenager,
Is this still the first question? Okay.
the idea of
We're not getting any answer out of this, are we?
the idea
We're getting
of
anywhere.
sweet talking in order to take
Penetrate a
it where,
female.
be able to take it where it comes. Yeah, that was a good one. What about sweet talking them? Why do you think that worked? Like, what do girls get? Why
I'm
do
gonna
they
call
say no
bullshit.
before
I'm
and
just
then
gonna
yes?
call bullshit right
What?
now.
Okay, what?
Okay, you're trying to turn this into something else. Like you're taking like it from a predatory view stance. Where I'm talking about like sweet talking someone is like when you meet somebody and you can tell they like you and you like them and you're like sweet talking each other, just talking sweet to each other, not like necessarily predatorily sweet talking
I'm
somebody.
thinking, you said you were 14 or so when you lost virginity, so I'm thinking like this 14 or 15-year-old kid.
I probably
like,
got smooth. We were drinking and shit.
Even troublemaking kids. I work in pediatric psych. I think even troublemaking kids, there's a sweetness about the kids, and that includes 15, 16, 17-year-old, 18, 19, 20-year-olds sometimes, depending on maturity level. So, but I'm more interested in kind of thinking about what did you think you were.
I doubt I
would do?
sweet talked her much. I think it was just an opportunist thing. Like, yo, I'm about to get laid. And she was with it, I was with it, we were kissing, you know, shit gets.
So what do you think about
She
her?
started touching my parts and shit, I started touching hers, everybody enjoyed themselves, shit happens.
That sounds like a fantastic way to get, you know, to be introduced to a sexual relationship, and to, you know, that it sounds like everybody's happy and took care of each other and were respectful and had a lot of fun, right? That's really good. So with more specifics about that very first experience you had, what did you in particular like about that experience? What was good or enjoyable about it?
Was this supposed to be my first experience ever? Because I told you about when I got caught in the closet with the little girl when I was...
Right.
Or are we talking about like strictly penetration-wise?
When you think about your sexual...
I think about watching pro wrestling,
History.
laying in my fucking parents' room because my mom used to run a daycare, and I used to fucking lay and like watch pro wrestling because that was like my me time when I got off of school and they'd leave me the fuck alone. And I'd always flip through my dad's Playboy, and you know that smell that's on Playboys? It's still to this
Shockingly,
day.
I know it from my dad's Playboy.
Takes me
Playboy
back
as
to
well.
being like 6 years old and looking at some big old titties in a Playboy. And when I think about first sex experience, probably that. That was probably the first time I manually masturbated. I
So
don't remember that actually. Is that weird? Am I repressing that?
no, I don't think so at all. I
That'd
think
be
that
cool. I don't remember the first time I masturbated.
well, I think that
We're getting off track.
because the important part of that experience wasn't the masturbation. The important part of that experience was that you were feeling aroused.
Right.
So that's what you remember, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense for that age, right? Like you don't necessarily know what the significance of
But I would say that was more of a first sexual experience than like the little girl that got caught in the closet, because I think at that point we were just touching each other's little kid parts, trying to figure out what's what.
Which is not necessarily sexual. That's
And it
more
probably
than
was
sort of-
totally normal between us, but like our parents made it weird because of their stigmas toward how they touch each other's grown-up parts.
Oh my god, you're slaying me. Alright. And so, your first sexual interaction might have been when you were very young. But your first, what you
The girl
consider
who
to
lived
be your
across the street
first,
from
like,
my grandma
sexual...
showed me her vagina too. That was awesome.
But
Oh,
the
thanks.
experience that you consider to be your first sexual encounter would be the, or experience would
Actually,
be...
would have been.
Wait, hold on. We have a sexual, like,
There's another.
exposure almost,
We're going.
or
We gotta go through all
experimentation.
timelines. See, I told you these questions were gonna.
Okay,
be
we
easy.
have exposure, we have experimentation, we have
But the first time I ever like made out with a girl and like grabbed on her boobs and stuff and like really like rubbed up on each other, like the point of dry humping was on like this like hill at the high school, not the high school I went to, but the one that I ended up living by. And that was in like 6th grade. And we were like making out, grabbing on some girl parts and shit. It was pretty cool. It was
Okay,
fun.
so
We didn't do anything. We never had sex or anything, but it was so cool. It was very sensual. It was loving. My homie and his girlfriend were making out right next to us. It was beautiful.
so here's my
I'm
next
just kidding,
question.
that's kinda weird.
No, it makes total sense to me because
Does it now?
it does. Because what is it about that made you go, that's the very, like, let me tell you about this. Like, why is that branded? I mean, how many times have
Because that was like the
you-
first girl I ever like made out with, like open mouth kissed her, like fucking was really, like, you know, like groping on each other.
could
like,
have
you know.
a first experience of doing those same actions been less influential or less memorable or less positive? I mean, you know, like, was it just because it was just boobs? Or do you think you learned something or took something or felt something that you hadn't felt before that was significant?
Well, yeah. I mean, have you ever kissed another person?
No.
I mean, it usually feels significant. I think the first time you ever like really intimately kiss someone, it's a significant thing that you probably will remember.
Is
I
that...
would assume that's what I remember. I don't remember her name.
You remember the kissing, you remember the kissing, and you remember the grabbing of the boobs, right?
Yeah, they weren't big. I mean, she was like 13, whatever. They were
That's
nice.
a
though.
big, that's a big deal for boys, though.
You know, small boobs can be appreciated.
Well, thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate it. It's very important
Oh,
to know that. What did you not like? We're going back to your first sexual encounter. The first time you had...
That it was
Penetration.
shitty, and I was
Yeah,
drunk in the
penetration.
back of my friend's car with some chick that I wasn't in love with.
What was oh, there's multiples there. What was shitty about it?
I just said all there. Next
Are
question.
those the reasons that it was shitty? Because you weren't in love?
I mean, it wasn't shitty at the time. It was fun. It was just people having fun. But then when you're like, the first time you fucking, you know. I mean, actually, I don't know. That's kind of bullshit, too. I guess that's some social stigma that goes back to, like, fucking, you know, old school fucking European fucking weirdos who instilled their ideas in us. But in
Yeah.
reality, like, I
Same
wouldn't want to
idea.
be an amateur the first time I fuck someone I'm in love with. So, you know, maybe it was a good practice round, like, fucking, you know.
So, what if...
If you make sweet love to someone for the first time, that's like the best. You don't want to be a rookie showing up all silly and fucking take 2 years to get into it before they can actually enjoy fucking being intimate with you. So maybe like that's why when you're a child you gotta fucking experiment and fucking figure things out. So that when you're an adult you can actually fucking do it right.
Is doing it right a really important thing to you?
Fuck yeah.
What's doing it right?
Making
Right.
sure the other person fucking was fulfilled and enjoyed it as much as you did or as much as they possibly could or get what they want out of it.
Oh, so that's a whole bunch of different variations and options for
Life's a complex place.
for what makes it good, right?
Did anyone ever say that like making love to another human was going to be easy or not complex?
Well, apparently when the cavemen did it, it was just biologically based and didn't actually require much thought or
Oh, that's bullshit.
intent.
I watched a video the other day on the internet of a penguin. Like
Driving a
penguins.
car?
No, like, not even. But, like, fighting, gouging each other's eyeball. Because, you know, penguins, like, mate well, you know, they do their thing. So this penguin, like, caught this homewrecker penguin in his place. And they fought to the point of, like, actually gouging each other's eyeballs out and shit. Like, penguins are brutal. Because he was jealous because somebody took his woman. Even a caveman would have had that, like, and I know that's a sexist way to look at it, but fucking millions of years of fucking natural fucking evolution has its base. But even a caveman, stupid as you think they might have been, still had the instinctual knowledge to raise and take care of shit and take care of business. But they were still jealous creatures, just like people are jealous these days. Like, no one really takes their girlfriend fucking with some other dude that well. Some people are well adapted to it, but every instinct that a man has is like...
I'm not.
Alright, let me think about that. Just for a quick minute. Oh, that's a terrible one. Okay, we'll go with that, just because it popped into my head. So one time, there was this girl that I was, like, madly in love with for, like, fucking 10 or 11 years. Tara, if we gotta use names, she's a great person. My best friend ever. But her dad's an asshole. And we, like, so this girl, we met when we were 19. I took her virginity, by the way. Actually, I'm going to just cut off my whole story. That was the best sexual experience I've ever had. It was the first time I fucking made love to Tara.
Why?
Because she's fucking the greatest human being that I've ever fucking made love to, and, like, I don't know, I was the first person to ever fucking give her that, and, like, she gave that to me. It was, like, just fucking super special. She was 19. And that was rare as hell. 19.
Would it
First
have
class.
Would it have been less enjoyable if you were not her first?
Yes, because it wouldn't have been as special, I think. Like, there's something about being someone's first that I think, especially, like, someone who held on to it like that. You know what I mean? Like, my first time was in the back of the car with a drunk chick. Like, this girl, like, intentionally didn't do that. So when she decides to, like, give herself to you for, like, the first time ever, I think there's something a little more special about that than some chick who's just been, you know...
So what about a girl, what about a woman who has never taken a man's virginity? What's she supposed to think about herself? If it's something special for somebody to give to you, then what if nobody ever gives that to you?
It doesn't matter.
But it does matter if they do. So when you were making love with Tara for the first time, that was special because she was giving herself to you. What were you giving to her?
If you've never had, like, fucking Neapolitan ice cream, you know, like, have you ever had 3 different kinds of ice cream at the same time? Like, no, but what if you haven't? Like, does it fucking matter? Like, you're still, like, you probably had them all individually. Like, who fucking cares? Like, life's individual for everyone. Like, the fact of saying that someone doesn't ever get something that someone else got, I think is kind of a silly argument, in my opinion. I guess I just don't know where you're going with this.
I think it's more about if you put significance or importance upon how the positive feelings you felt from being the one that she gave herself to, then can you think of that it might be difficult or hurtful if you're giving yourself to that person and they didn't save themselves for you?
No. I mean, maybe in some weird part of your brain and shit that you think about late at night that you don't ever talk to other people about, yes. But not really. Like, it ain't like I lied to her. It ain't like I was like, I'm also a virgin. Like, it's not like it's not a thing. Like, I don't think when she met me, I was pretty much who I was right now, just a lot younger. But I wasn't a whole lot different in my demeanor and the way I lived and the way I speak and deal with people. So, like, she pretty much knew I wasn't what she was getting into, so she didn't expect me to be her first. And again, to my earlier point, I think she probably appreciated that because by the time I was there, I was comfortable with touching a woman, and I touched her right, and saw like
able to take care of her.
the stars in her eyes, and watching another human being fall in love with you makes you fall in love with them way quicker. So being able to please a person is a skill set. Only because we're cavemen.
Oh, cavemen didn't care to please each other.
Oh, of course they did. Like, a guy wouldn't have wasted, like, you gotta think about caveman days, like...
No, but you're saying the caveman days, they just wanted to get the sperm and the egg to fertilize.
But if you gotta think about, like, from a real caveman perspective, like, they were going on, like, eating food, taking in calories, and then, like, spending your calories to hunt food. Like, if a caveman didn't, like, care about and love the woman that he was with, he wouldn't expend the energy to hit her on the club and have sex with her.
Sure he would, because your point is that the caveman did it in order to advance the human
Do you know how many
race.
calories it takes to, like, just have sex? Like, he was swinging a club, dragging her into the cave, and having sex. That's a lot of wasted energy. If he didn't love her, he wouldn't do that.
Really?
We're gonna do a bunch of editing on this, though. Right?
That's a whole new spin on your whole biology versus...
No, I figure if he's over here
thing.
talking and dropping the camera, we're definitely editing this, so I can say shit about, you know...
No, I'm not editing shit. This whole thing's going on.
Sweet.
Alright,
Let's talk about duck sex.
We're getting there.
That's cool.
Well, no, let's not. But can you think of a sexual experience that you've had that somehow left a significant influence on who you are? Whether it changed your perspective on sexuality or in another way taught you something?
So one time I was eating out this pregnant girl.
I figured that would be a nice entryway.
And...
maybe through the back door.
I might have went there. We're not going to get into that. That wasn't the topic of the story. So anyways, like, we get to the point where she was, like, on top of me, and I was, you know, doing my thing from the bottom, and she was into it. And it was convenient, you know, because she's got, like, she was pretty pregnant, about, like, 8 months, like, big old belly. It was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it. And then, like, so I'm, like, reaching up and, like, squeezing her breasts, and, like, all of a sudden I just started blasting milk out, like, all over me, and I thought it was kind of, you know, awesome.
And this was...
What does that say about me as a
This was a sexual experience that somehow left a significant influence on you? It
Yeah.
changed you or taught you something? What did it change?
Why
you
do
or
people
how-
think pregnant chicks are so hot?
I don't know why.
Because
You
they're
think?
beautiful, because they're recreating human life, and it's like, it really makes you think about it, you know, like, does everyone have mommy issues, or is it just normal? When pregnant women have that, like,
Or is
beautiful
it that
pregnant glow?
when women are pregnant, they put out pheromones that are incredibly...
Is that it? That could be it.
Because women who are pregnant are coursing with hormones.
There's
the entire time.
nothing like just a really hot pregnant chick. I learned that about myself.
That you really like the really hot pregnant chicks.
I'm into it.
What about the...
Especially, like, I didn't even know I was into, like, just milk raining on me, but it was pretty fucking hot when it happened. I was into it.
Well, is part of that something about, like...
That's what I was saying? Is that where it's going?
Another person, like, delivering upon you, you know? Like what about if somebody would urinate on you?
This is not about bukkake. Oh, yeah, I thought a chick pee on me.
And
Or a garbanzo bee.
So is that feeling similar to if somebody's breast milk would be squirted on you? I mean, obviously the situation is different.
Not really.
But
Yeah,
is
like,
the arousal
if a girl
similar?
No, if a girl pees on me, it's just gonna be really funny for both of us. There's gonna be a lot of giggling and laughing, and like nobody's really gonna be getting off.
I think people do.
I mean, some people might, but I just know myself, and like, if I ever let a girl pee on me, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty lighthearted and pretty funny. I don't think anyone's gonna climax from it, but
just
not
from
saying
the pee landing upon you.
not
But
saying I would
would
let
you
you
climax
pee me.
from just breast milk
But
landing upon you either?
no, not at all.
No.
And it was just like a weird, random thing that I didn't expect to come. And I was like, wow, that's actually kind of cool. Like, and then you squeeze them harder and more comes out.
And you get Well, then you get to like play with the new toy.
Is that a mommy issue though?
I don't know. Did it feel like one to you?
No, I just thought we're gonna get all deep on this. Let's go there. It is a weird experience having breast milk shot on you while you're eating out a pregnant girl.
Do you think
It makes you question a lot of things.
like what?
Everything.
Like what?
Life in general.
What does it make you question?
Why am I laying here eating out a pregnant girl? That ain't my kid. I hardly even know this girl. Why is this happening?
Is it a novelty? Was it
There
a
you go.
novelty?
Yo,
And
probably.
are novelties?
Plus, like pheromones, like you said, pregnant women just glow.
So if you enjoy something because it's a novelty, does that mean you wouldn't want to do it all the time? Like, is it your preference? Would your preference be pregnant women whose breast milk would spray on you?
Go again.
Would a pregnant woman spraying breast milk on you be your preference over all other non-pregnant,
I would have just shitloads of kids.
Well, no, nobody said they were yours.
I mean, that's like if I had like
If you could just get off to any one particular type or situation in particular.
Ideally, I would rather like be sleeping with, making sweet love to a pregnant woman who's pregnant with my kid. If we're just going by pregnant chicks, I'm not saying I only sleep with pregnant women. I'm just saying once upon a time, I just wanted to tell that story. I knew that ahead of time.
You're welcome.
So I'm not just fully into pregnant, but
pregnant
ideally, I would
pregnant,
rather.
you'd prefer
I would
you were-
rather sleep with a pregnant woman who is pregnant with my child. I have no kids, by the way. If anybody sees this, I wasn't there.
Tell me about what you consider to be
Big fix phobia.
a highlight phase and a low light phase of your sexually active lifetime. So like,
Ooh.
what was a high time and a, so not one like instance. But
Okay.
like
No, I can do it
time
both.
period.
No, I can do it in one.
You got it?
Let's wrap this up. One time I got a blowjob on top of a bus at a bar by this fucking really hot 23-year-old that I was into for like quite a minute. And it was pretty awesome. So we met and she was like really cool. I liked her a lot. We had like, I took her for rides in my Ducati and shit. We had like good times. And then the one day we were tearing around and she was a maniac. That's why I liked her so much. And I'll get to that part. So anyways, this chick just loved to tear around and like I was riding her. So like she was like super fun. And one day we were at this bar and I was like, oh, that's a sweet bus because it was like pulled up in the fucking thing. I was like, let's go fuck around on the bus. And I just meant like fuck around as in like, you know, I don't know.
Mess around? Like
Whatever.
cause trouble, mayhem?
No, it's like we immediately got up there and then she gave me a blowjob on top of the bus, which is pretty awesome. And then I found out that this chick's dad was a retired cop and her mom was a judge. Everybody knows it, don't say anything. So that's sweetened the deal for me. No, it went really well. So that's sweetened the deal. But that was a really awesome experience because this like fucking like really hot, cool young girl who like I was not only like really cool with, found out like I was also probably shitting on her dad who was a cop. Fuck that guy. And sorry.
So that was
but-
like an extra bonus, right?
So that the low side of that was that it was like toward the end of my relationship with Tara when I had gotten so frustrated that I started to cheat on her. And that was like the first one, so like that was kind of shitty. And that was the beginning of the end of an era. But it was fun.
The end of an era.
Like, yeah.
So your highest point in your sexuality was when you were able to like bang super hot girls on
Not in my
not
life.
even bang, but
That
like,
was just a very summed up
But there's a
answer,
very
like a
specific-
high and low in one question.
when's been the most highly satisfied period of time in your life sexually?
Probably between like 2:30 and 4.
Do you think that afternoon sex is where it's at?
Fuck
What do you
yes.
think it is about afternoon sex?
I don't know, it's just refreshing and invigorating. It's the middle of the day. Everyone else is at work.
Does it feel like rebellious somehow because everyone else is at work?
I don't know. I don't think about rebellion. Fuck all that. It's just nice. Like, if I can wake up and, like, eat some breakfast, walk my dogs, come home, have some afternoon sex, and then start my day, like, fucking A. That's a good day off.
That's a good day off until you work, right?
But, I mean, there's also, on a good day off, there's, like, sex in the morning and sex at night also. But I think, like, when you're really in your game, when the sun's shining and you're having midday sex, it's something that not many Americans, at least, take the time to do, to have just midday sex as a thing. And we probably should.
You led perfectly into my next question. Which
Excellent.
is, what would your ideal sexual relationship look like or exist like? And you said sex in the morning, right?
My ideal sexual... Wait, what?
Your
Hold on.
ideal sexual relationship.
What would it look like?
Yeah, like
Oh my
how
God.
many times would you have sex a week or a day? Or
Oh, shit.
what would the sex be like? And what would the relationship
I hate
be
that
like?
question, though.
You
Like,
have sex with.
lots of it. Like, that's the only honest answer I can give to that question. See, this is I needed to sit here so I can look at that, because that's so comforting and not distracting, but distracting enough that I can look at it. That was fun. This is good. No, that question sucks. It's like, what's your favorite color? It's like, I don't have a favorite color. Like, what's one color without all the other fucking colors?
But you have preferences. Would you prefer to have sex once a week or
No,
once a day?
a bunch of times. But if it's got to be like a number, it feels like it's planned, and that doesn't feel right. Like,
But
I want to
you-
have lots of sex, sporadic sex. Like when you like have sex with people in weird places when they don't expect it, that shit's ingrained in their memory. Like, you ever like bent a
do you
girl
want
over?
to be the guy who gets ingrained in people's memory? Does that feel good?
Hell yeah, because that's the moments that people obviously are really enjoying. Like when you can just like make fucking some good sex with somebody, like somewhere that they didn't really see it coming, but really, really on a carnal fucking instinct level, it fucking enjoyed it, and they're always gonna remember that. Like, fuck yeah, I want to be that dude.
So you would like to just have as much sex as you could. Is there such thing as too much sex
Probably.
for you? Do you think? Well, I have an idea. Like, if your partner wanted to have sex 3 times a day, every day, round the clock, you think you would do that for the rest of your life?
I can game up to that. Maybe not the rest of my life, but I've never had that be a problem. 3 times a day, that's easy. That's like not even an inconvenience.
And how many jobs do you have?
2 at the
And
moment.
how many children do you have?
None.
And how many other outside responsibilities do you have?
Some. I don't know. What kind of questions you talking about? You're saying if you don't have kids, you can't have as much, or if you have kids, you can't have as much sex?
Yeah.
I know
At
that. Let me
least
leave
when they're
right in.
young.
What is your next question? Like, I've been dating a girl with kids, and
Is
the
there-
sex? It does fuck with your sex life.
It does. See? So you're calling me out on implying that,
I
but you
didn't call
agree.
you anything. Oh, absolutely, kids are, but you got to be sneaky. Take her in the bathroom.
Is there anything in your current sexual situation you think might not be healthy or beneficial to either one of you? Or to whoever your partners may be? Like, emotionally or mentally, not... Well, maybe physically.
Yeah, absolutely. Like egos and fucking.
I mean, I would be concerned maybe about physical health or safety as well, considering that you have dickophoxophobia,
That's.
and which leaves
that's an
you
issue.
unable to wear a condom because you have a phobic fear of your dick being suffocated by latex.
That's true.
That would be, a difficult sort of a situation to overcome, potentially putting your partners and yourself at risk. Right. So that's
Indeed.
a potential risk. You're welcome again. To your health. What about
What was the question again?
do you think there's anything about your current sexual relationships that might not be really healthy for you or for your partner? sometimes we do things that are fun even if we know they're bad for us, right? Is there anything like that in your sexual relationships that...
Yes, I think the fact that I'm like kind of crazy, and I've done a lot of fucked up shit, and I tend to attract other crazy human beings who've done some fucked up shit, and then like personal insecurities and fucking stupidity issues and jealousy issues and stupid shit come in the way of like just human nature of like just fucking, when you meet another fucking human being, be nice to him and get to know him and like treat him just as another human being instead of like every goddamn thing they've ever done throughout their whole life, and then putting all your own insecurities off on other people and starting stupid shit where it doesn't need to happen has been, you know, probably a frustrating thing that I've ran into. But I spent like my entire adult life with the same female, so I'm pretty like, you know, in the last couple of years new to the whole like, you know, getting to know other 30-year-old fucking humans who are all fucked up. So yeah, they're frustrating. Next question.
Interactions are frustrating.
Sorry.
What do you wish that you knew or was different about your sexuality or your sexual interactions or your sexual encounters now or relationships that would be an improvement somehow in your life? What do you wish might be different? Or what you wish that you knew more about or you were better at?
No.
That would improve
Next
your
question.
sexual relationship? Nothing.
Nothing. One of the few things in my life that I'm actually happy with is my sex life. I have pretty good fucking sex. And it's rewarding.
And you're having sex to a frequency that sustains and fulfills you.
Yeah, to a point.
And the quality is fulfilling.
Yeah, it's not random sex with a bunch of strangers or nothing.
Does that feel less fulfilling to you when you've had periods of time in your life
yeah.
like that? You'd prefer to be in a relationship with somebody.
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you think that the connection you feel when you're having sex with somebody can affect the emotional, mental connection that you have with somebody?
Absolutely. It's not okay, I guess this is like a survey about sex, but I don't know. I feel like taking the mental and emotional connection out of sex is just fucking selling ourselves short as human beings. Like, of course that should be there. Like, and I think it always is. I don't know, as an adult, I guess, like, kids having sex and fucking around might be different, but I feel like when two humans really connect with each other, it's not really just, like, sticking fucking innies and outies and shit. Like, there should be a connection there, at least good sex.
Do you think that the sex has to be emotional, or is there a connection? Like, is there a connection about being sexual with somebody that's valid and important and like, yeah, there should be that connection there, like you were saying. That
Well,
actually
you can
isn't
connect with people in a
emotion,
million ways.
or like it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. What about if you're just like having sex with people because you want to and you're enjoying it? Do you have a connection with them, or would you have a connection with
A
them?
different kind of connection.
But not a romantic one.
I don't know, not really. I mean, it's different. It's just like, it's agreements between adults. Like, there's a female that I had slept with for like, I don't know, a year or so recently, who I might have hung out with yesterday. Or wait, that was, whatever. We didn't have sex this time. But we can still be friends. And, but no, a lot of it's been like just straight up like just having sex. And we dated for like a few months. It's not quite work. But still have some pretty fucking great sex together. But there's still like definitely some love and intimacy and connection there. Like when we do it, we just both act ignorant to it and fucking act like we're just doing this shit just for fun and shit. But of course it's better between us than it is by some motherfucking stranger. Because we're closer, that's why we're fucking each other and not some stranger.
Right. But the reason that that's able to work is because you both have like the unspoken agreement to just ignore the intimacy.
Kind of. I mean, I crack a lot.
Let's just not talk about it.
I crack jokes and shit, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I talk about it. It makes her uncomfortable.
Thank you very much for allowing me to interview you about this very personal topic.
Are we done?
Many people have a hard time talking about, but you are very forthcoming and open about it, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. We're done.